I like Lil Durk's song. That All My Life. I really like it. I think that's a hit with him and J. Cole. But something that bothered me was Lil Durk album cover. And this is the cover. And you're not about to tell me they ain't putting this in our face again, bruh. Somebody around Durk, or even Durk himself, is going to pass away, bruh. What the hell type of cover is this, bruh? Almost healed. The mission ain't done yet. I know a lot of y'all gonna say I sound crazy, man. I've been covering this industry for years now, bruh. Years, bruh. And at first I was in denial about this, man. And now I just know what's going on, man. If y'all want to stay asleep, go ahead. They put it in our face, bruh. This was exactly like Young Dolph album cover before he passed away, bruh. This is what they do, man. When you start seeing blood and all that in the one eye, that's what they do, bruh. Period, man. This is a shame, bruh. This is a sham and a scam, bruh. And they put it in our face, and there's something going on, man. Everybody was talking about Young Thug album cover. Well, it started to look like the reason he had blood all over himself is because he was sacrificing himself, man. Like, almost everybody around him in this case getting bonds and plea deals, and they putting all the blame on him. And it seemed like, man, even though a lot of people saying it's looking good, it ain't looking good to me. It still look like Young Thug gonna get found guilty. Bro, do a relook at all the evidence and stuff they say they got on him. Forget everybody else, bro. Him. And it's almost seemed like, it's like, all right, I'm done. Y'all go ahead. What's up with this album cover, bro? Like, what's up with this album cover for real, bro? Now, let's stop bullshitting and let's really get to talking about real shit, man. If you around Lil Durk, watch. Or even if you Lil Durk, watch. These people will tell you how to pose, tell you what to wear, tell you what they want on your body, all this shit, man. And y'all think it's a coincidence for what reason? Do this, man. Even if the shit called Almost Healed. You can have crutches, nigga. You can have anything. But you mean to tell me you got bandages all over your goddamn face, one eye closed, one eye open, blood coming from that eye, and it's making sure it show the tattoo that you got on your goddamn neck with your one eye. Not to mention your whole body already a goddamn graveyard with all these dead motherfuckers, pictures and faces and shit on your goddamn body, bruh.
King Von was a star, all thanks to his manager 100K Track. This would lead to the November 6th situation that would bring an end to King Von. We have spoken about the end of King Von several times, and I have made it known that I feel something was definitely off with his passing. King Von was managed by 100K Track and was signed to Lil Durk and Empire Distribution. Like we have seen, a lot of Empire's artists seem to pass away at their peak. Also, just about every artist Durk has signed seemed to also pass away. Add 100K Track into the mix, and how all of his artists are facing prison time. Even Von was facing a case before his passing. All three of these entities were involved with King Von and had something to gain from his loss. When Von passed, Lil Durk continued to collect money from Von's music, and he used Von's passing to push his career. Also, when Von passed away, the ongoing case Durk faced with Von was dismissed after police put all the blame on King Von. Empire also made plenty of money from Von's passing, as they kept on releasing his music and collecting royalties. Same thing with 100K Track. Just like Empire, he is seeing a cut of the royalties and all the other deals he does to license Von's music. They all had something to gain from the passing of King Von. While researching the situation to see if anything stood out to me, I found something very interesting that made me question the entire situation. Like I already said, when King Von passed, 100K Track was there with him, and according to him, he was also struck when Lil Tim was letting go at Von. According to 100K Track, he was struck in the leg, and the moment it happened, he did his best to get away from the situation and take cover. I will not show the footage of what happened that night here, but you can find it online. In that footage, you see Track when he gets hit and stumbles away. This confirms that Track was in the group of guys who went and confronted Rondo with Vaughn. Since the incident happened, dispatch audio of an officer at the scene when the chaos started has been released. On that dispatch audio, we heard the police reveal some interesting information that has many online questioning 100K Track on who he truly works for. On the dispatch call, we hear officers state that Officer Francois got sprayed up and was down.
Yo, we got shots. Got a lot of shots going on here. Everybody down here. All you gotta show people down. Show people down.
Copy, shots fired. 75 trips.
Right now, forward. Get forward. Right forward. 1504 to radio, turn forward to Officer Francois.
Copy, you need a 4-4 officer.
Confirm. Advisors going on with the officer. Condition of the officer, please.
Advise the condition of the officer.
04 to radio. Officer Francois got sprayed. Starting before right here. Officer Francois got sprayed. Starting before right here.
As you heard for yourself, if you listen closely, you hear the officer on the dispatch call clearly state Officer Francois was sprayed up. What's interesting about this is that no police officer were reported to have been injured during the Vaughn situation, so that made no sense to me. I looked online to see if any news articles have reported this, but they hadn't. Then, things get even stranger when you realize 100K Track is actually named Jameson Francois, the very same name as the so-called officer that was struck during the Vaughn situation. If we look at the footage after Track gets hit and stumbles off, he is no longer seen on the footage no more, meaning that he doesn't come back to check on Vaughn nor to help him. This has led many people online to question whether Track was behind all of this, or, even worse, if he's an undercover federal agent. Something I found interesting was that 100K Track was actually questioned about being a police officer, and what he said just seemed off to me. In my opinion, his response comes off very defensive.
To see what was going on. So I've been left. So the person going to the club and the person giving whatever you guys think that is not me. I've been left the scene already.
You been left the scene. How you know? If you been left the scene.
Bro,
See, this the questions that because we heard is on that police dispatch, Officer Francois.
Yeah, but I can't tell you if there's not an Officer Francois. What is an Officer Tom? What if there's an Officer Jerome? What if there's an Officer Ricardo? Who knows? What is that?
Hey, hold on. What we ain't about to do though, look, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Giving me, look, I appreciate you. You ain't have to say a goddamn thing, but it's in me. Ain't you? So you telling me it happened to be an officer with the same last name as you down there?
Listen, how am I supposed to know how am I supposed to know who works in Atlanta? I'm not in Atlanta. I'm from Miami. So if my address is from Miami, if I was an officer, wouldn't my address, my location be from Florida? Why would it be Atlanta? That don't make any sense.
It happened in Atlanta.
How am I gonna be a manager and executive and be an officer at the same time? How can I have so many traits if I'm already an executive and I got a record label and artist? How am I gonna have time to be an officer?
You talking to me like I'm a fool though.
No,
like, what you mean? How it can happen? It can happen. Tell me, Miss Francois, that it was with your last name in the same city, man. You not about to sit here and tell me that?
Okay, am I the only Francois, the only person named Francois in the world?
I think you was the only Francois.
See, you can't justify a name by position. All you could justify a name by is what you see the person is doing. If my whole career is music, how can I be a cop? Be real now.
As you heard for yourself, 100K Track denies being a police officer or a federal agent. He claims that it was a coincidence that there was an officer there with the same name as him. He also states that he has since legally changed his name and no longer goes by Jameson Francois, but instead as just Track. To me, 100K Track's response seemed highly suspicious and made him look more guilty. Him saying that an officer with his last name, Francois, just so happened to be there just seems crazy.
He helped somebody get a picture with Obama, so it was like he was politically tied to getting people in that don't need to be in.
FBI informant. Wow.
At work.
So why they mad at him now, though?
He was clocking in 20 years.